Kashmir, Dr. Adil Ahmed Radar, a resident of Kazigand in Pulwama. He was arrested over terror charges, and reports indicate that the investigations into the terror activity plus specific intelligence led to Dr. Radar's arrest and interrogation. Now, from his locker at the medical college in Anantnag, an AK-47 rifle and ammunition was also recovered. His interrogation over the course of the last week then led to leads pointing outside and beyond Jammu and Kashmir, including into the Delhi NCR region. And based on the information, the security agencies, along with the Jammu and Kashmir police, local intelligence and IB teams, identified a network of suspects and a safe house in Faridabad linked to this terror module. Based on that input, a doctor in Faridabad, Dr. Muzammil Shakil, was identified. He is said to have rented accommodation in Dhauj village in Faridabad about 3 months ago, reportedly as a safe house and storage site for explosives and weapons. Now, subsequent to his identification, joint police teams from Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana conducted raids in Faridabad and made significant seizures and arrests. The police teams recovered nearly 3,000 kilograms of IED making material, including ammonium nitrate, 20 timers, an AK-47 rifle, multiple magazines, walkie-talkies. And parallel to this, in Jammu and Kashmir itself, there was a crackdown on the terror ecosystem of overground workers, sympathizers and recruitment bases in Kulgam. The Jammu and Kashmir police announced that 7 more individuals were arrested with links to the Jaish-e-Mohammed and Ansar Ghazwat-ul-Hind. Seizure also included assault rifles, timers and bomb-making tools. The module appears to have been planning large-scale terrorist attacks, and they had amassed explosives and weapons and used professionals like doctors and interstate networks to facilitate the movement of weapons.
2,500 kgs of ammonium nitrate has been recovered, and this is one of the locations where the police has just gone away from. This is the exact house from where the police has gone ahead and recovered more than 2,500 kgs of ammonium nitrate. We are entering inside the house. If I could just show you in the visuals over here inside the residence as well. These are the rooms that have been searched in detail by the police. All these rooms have been searched in detail by the police. If you could look at the manner in which these searches have been done, definitely there is a large nexus that has been unearthed by the police over here. In fact, this entire room has now been vacated as well. Definitely there is the manner in which these recoveries have been made. Definitely raises a lot of questions on the intelligence inputs that could have been given. If you could look over here, one side is the residential colony where the villagers of this entire village live, whereas the other side, the other 3 sides are absolutely empty. Somewhere or the other, this location was specifically selected so that it does not raise any sort of suspicion. And in such a house where even the plasters are not done in the right manner, more than 2,500 kgs of ammonium nitrate has been recovered from this specific location itself, which means that there was a larger plot that was being made. More than 20 timers to be installed in IEDs have also been recovered by the Jammu Kashmir police from Faridabad itself, which yet again points that they were planning to make several IEDs that could be exploded in different parts of the country. But it still remains to be seen that is this the total recovery that could have been made in this entire nexus, or there are other people who are involved over here as well, because remember, Muzammil was living in this locality for the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, he could have gotten in touch with a lot more people. He could have indoctrinated other people as well to be a part of this entire movement of jihad that these people call.
So Major Manik Jolly has made some calculations and sharing that with you here. I'm quoting him, viewers. 1 kilogram of ammonium nitrate will give an equivalent energy release to 0.4 kilograms of TNT. 2,700 kilograms of ammonium nitrate, which is largely urea, viewers, but that's how it can be weaponized, means energy release of approximately 100 kilograms of TNT. Now, TNT has around 0.7 times RDX explosion power by weight and around twice by volume. So this has explosion power of around 8,000 kilograms of RDX by weight. Pulwama terror attacks that used 80 kilograms of RDX. So you can do the arithmetic. 100 times the impact of Pulwama was what was being planned, and this was a series of attacks they were planning. Now, the major alarm that emerges from this crackdown is manifold. The network appears to have been interstate, based in J&K, but had safe houses and storage beyond J&K. Jammu and Kashmir and Delhi NCR to hide large quantities of explosives and weapons away from immediate area of operations. Use of highly educated individuals like doctors is noteworthy because such persons are atypical in terror modules and may have access and mobility advantages. Safe houses in rural areas of around Delhi NCR shows careful planning to select safe houses and storage sites in places which will not raise suspicions, can fly under the radar. Storage of explosives in large caches also shows an intent for a significant strike rather than a small-scale attack. The presence of timers, detonators, walkie-talkies, batteries, heavy explosive load indicates planning for coordinated strikes along with advanced rifles and, of course, large quantities of ammunition. The network appears to have cross-border support, highlighting Pakistan-backed terror's penetration into areas around the national capital. This also raises some very big questions, like what were the exact targets for the planned attacks? What is the origin of the explosives and weapons, and how were they smuggled? Did they use encrypted comms, overseas handlers? What is the extent of the terror network beyond Jammu and Kashmir? How many more operatives, especially educated professionals, are actually highly radicalized and also involved? Are there other safe houses in other states? Let's go across to our guests, and we will also do a sidebar with our guests on the ricin development, where somebody in Gujarat, where the Gujarat ATS has arrested another ISIS operative. He was a doctor himself and he was trying to make ricin, which he was planning to mix with the foods of prasad and at various temples and religious institutions, sarkari institutions, and cause mass-scale murders and mayhem. Kulbir Krishna, former IPS and ex-member of the NSAB with us, and Lieutenant General D.P. Pandey, former GOC 15 Corps security analyst with us. Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. This is one sinister, Kulbir Krishna ji. The other thing is, this seems like we'll train you, we'll radicalize you, and we'll let you loose. You go ahead and do things on your own so that it looks like random lone wolf modules. This is far more difficult to try and apprehend and nab.
That's true. In fact, it's a very sinister plot. But this is part of the ISIS playbook. In fact, if you remember, about 10 years ago, one Bangalore-based techie was also arrested, who was radicalized by the ISIS and was to be used for similar activities. The fact is that ISIS is being played by the ISI, and the hand of Pakistan is absolutely clear. This is if you recall, one of the great achievements of this government has been that since it came to power, there has been no major attack outside J&K except the one on Pathankot Air Base. Now, this is an attempt to sort of raise the ante and have bomb blasts in and around the NCR, in Kashmir, in UP, and in various places. So, it's good that this plot has been nipped in the bud, but such plots will keep coming, and it is something which we have to be prepared for, and we have to make the cost. Even though we have done Operation Sindoor, we have to make the cost for such misadventures much more than what it was. Earlier they had a free run. Now, of course, they have to think twice, but these terror modules are being used by the ISI, and in fact even the Afghan Taliban have been complaining that the ISIS is being supported by the Pakistani military establishment to fight the Taliban. So this ISIS-K is a serious threat, and it's more in the realm of radicalization and in ideas, and we'll have to give much more attention to that.
General Pandey?
Yeah, I think a very pertinent point which is brought out is about ISI's KP part and all. But at the very outset, let me just compliment and congratulate Jammu and Kashmir Police and Haryana Police to have carried out this strike at the terrorist network. Any small success is a big success because eventually lives are saved and embarrassment to the country is saved. Every explosion which takes place compels the government of India to actually respond and thereafter up the ante and the international environment and send a particular signal which can, very quickly go out of hand and into and that is exactly what Pakistan actually wants. So I just want to talk a few issues. Arvind, sorry, Apna Anand here. Is that please understand that when my view as a co-commander was that most of the time the political rhetoric which comes out and the government of the day, maybe this government, the previous governments and all, they start talking about a nuanced language in which they speak about education and unemployment as a reason for people picking up guns and radicalization, right? And non-availability of good education, quality education being as one of the reasons. But I must tell you that I was always fearful of the people who have actually got better education and were professionals in terms of doctors, engineers, IT professionals, and such like that, who were always into very empowered class, enabled class, well-off people who silently had a radical mind, and they were actually, I should term them as white-collar terrorists, who were actually instigating or enabling and ensuring an environment where the radical elements keep on expanding. The numbers, if you kill 100 or 200 terrorists, you will find another set coming up because of such people. But in this case, what is very peculiar is that there has been a direct connect which has come out with doctors, a Maulvi, and a doctor who was also a teacher at point of time. So you imagine the ecosystem from where they are coming from, the education system where they came from, and where they have been involved by interacting with younger generation, in which how the minds and the radicalization would have shaped those people for the future set of application. So I think that issue which has to be understood by the government of India or the political dispensation and by all of us who are into security matter, that just because you have taken out 370 or you have done a punishment after Pulwama or after Pahalgam or after Uri, doesn't mean that in 5 to 6 years or 10 years, the entire radical mind is now going to shift and change because they continue to live silently. The snakes have gone back into their hiding place and they will emerge again when their possibility or the requirement comes out, right? So this is something which has to be fought against, and we should not try and cover it up and not, look other side, because we need to have a political messaging and signal which is happening and we have to expose. Therefore, what is very important is that we must look at what is the ideological moorings and how we need to control or manage that. It aren't easy. It is much more easier to kill a terrorist, find a professional who's likely to blow up bombs, but it's very difficult to manage the minds which are already radicalized and change and convert them.
Correct.
Illiterate person is much more easier to be de-radicalized when, but person who's well-read, well-established, and when his mind is radicalized, it's very difficult for him to actually change. So 5 years after 2000, after 370 application doesn't change much. Kashmir is peaceful, but peace is yet to arrive there.
Kashmir शांत है पर वहाँ शांति नहीं है. You have said this often in the past, and you're saying that again.
शांति है मगर शांत नहीं है.
हाँ, शांति है मगर शांत नहीं है. But no, actually it is. However, the alliteration is shant hai. They are quiet right now, but it's not that there is shanti there or there is actual peace or they are peaceful there in terms of the sentiment itself for long-lasting peace. However, we want to see it, we understand the meaning. But two parts to my next question. First is, you've both worked intelligence, military and civilian, both ways. How is it that these people are still getting radicalized? Who's radicalizing them? is that not a greater concern? In fact, SP Vaid Saab also has tweeted the same, saying that the larger question is who are these people who are radicalizing them and how are they able to do it such that there are so many in all pockets? Because viewers, it's very difficult to radicalize such people. There have to be repeated engagements and there's got to be constant brainwashing for this radicalization to happen. And how is it that in areas where intelligence spread is deep, that these are not being picked up? Because our forces have to get it right 10 on 10. What is the guarantee that there are not 5 or 6 other modules similar to this who are already out there? What is the guarantee that there are not 4 or 5 other doctors who are again trying to manufacture ricin and try and mix it with publicly consumed water or at water bodies or even at prasad and mandirs, etc., to create mass scale non-kinetic terror, psychological and biochemical? That's another variant. So we'll break this question down to this moving from kinetic to non-kinetic forms of terror, but that's latter. The first is, how and where are these people getting radicalized? Why aren't we able to find out the radicalizers, Kulveer Krishanji?
No, this is actually, the radicalization is being done on the internet. There are preachers of hate like Zakir Naik and many others who keep brainwashing, keep saying, it's like spreading seeds. 90% of the people of J&K don't buy this argument at all. They want peace and they are enjoying the peace. But even if 1% or 2% get radicalized, it is 1%, 2% too much. And in fact, our experience has been that it is the family members who have been coming and telling the police or the authorities that, sir, my son or my daughter is getting radicalized. In this particular case, what has happened is there are not only 2 doctors, there is a 3rd doctor from whose car another AK-47 was recovered in Faridabad. And that doctor has also is probably a non-Kashmiri. And the details will come out as it's an ongoing investigation. But what I'm trying to say is that radicalization is done through the internet, and it is people who have a particular bent of mind who get radicalized. And government, it's not a new problem. It's a problem which we have been facing at least for 20 years. And, India has had phenomenal success. If you see ISIS, 700 people went from Maldives to join the ISIS. From India, only 300 people went, out of which 250 were from Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Right.
The radicalization has been much more in the south than in the north.
Yes.
Even Jammu and Kashmir, the radicalization has been minimal. The fact is that de-radicalization is a very difficult job. It's a very, very continuous and painstaking job.
Right.
And it requires not only the government, it requires the family, it requires society, it requires people to say that, dekhiye, this is correct and this is not correct.
Sir, even as we speak, you don't
achieve anything.
Even as we speak, we're just putting it out on our at the bottom of our screen. This has been an immediate development. Let's just go straight across to that. General Pandey and Kulveer Krishanji, please stay with us. There's a blast that's been reported near the station. A call has been received from near the Red Fort metro station, and 3 fire tenders have actually been immediately sent. Now, they've been rushed to this. This is after that there has been report of an explosion. Now, there's a difference between the blast and explosion, and that's why we would try and hold this, that there has been some explosion. What has caused this explosion, we'll have to wait and watch. There seems to be some amount of, there you go, that's it. These are the first set of visuals that have come in. On-goers, passers-by, they are reporting something's exploded there, and that's why you see fire coming out, and there are plumes of black smoke coming through, and there is that area which is raging. There is a blaze going on, and there's a huge collection of people. These are just visuals that are coming in, so we're actually just showing this to you, viewers. We will try and zoom in on that visual and isolate that group where there's a huge group of people. And then there is also that blaze which we can see. Anshul is joining us with more details. Yes, Anshul, what's happened?
So yes, the initial details are coming in at this point in time. In fact, a call was received by the fire department that there is a blast in a car that has been reported, and at this point, at least 7 fire tenders have been rushed to the spot. Senior police officials are also present on the spot. The exact magnitude or the exact reason behind the blast is something that is still not clear. This entire incident happened approximately 20 minutes ago outside gate number 1 of Red Fort metro station, which is a heavy footfall area in itself. But the manner in which this entire incident has happened, it is suspected that there could be some injuries or fatal injuries that could be reported to a few people, but still we are still awaiting for that official confirmation of numbers to come in from the Delhi police as what is the exact reason behind the said blast. Some reports have suggested that this could be a blast out of a battery of a vehicle, but yes, at this point in time, since officials have just reached on the spot and they are carrying out the investigation, the details that have come out are very sketchy at this point in time, but definitely the blast has happened. That has happened inside a vehicle. That is something that can be confirmed, and some injuries have happened. The exact number is something that we'll have to wait for the.
But Anshul, you are saying that it has happened outside or near the Red Fort metro station area in a car. Do we have confirmation that there is a car that in which this entire explosion has taken place?
So yes, this is confirmed that the incident the blast has happened in a vehicle. That has been confirmed to us by Delhi Fire Services at this point in time. The call was made to the Delhi Fire Services at approximately 6:55 p.m., which is approximately 20 minutes before now. And since the details are still coming in sketchy, and we are also trying to make sure that we report each and everything that is confirmed to us, and hence we are awaiting for those confirmation to come in from the authority.
Was there anybody, do we know if there was anybody in the car or was it a parked car? Anshul, you said there are people who have been injured. Injuries have been reported. We just saw some pictures. This incident has happened between 1855 and 1857 local time, IST, that is 6:55 p.m. to 6:57 p.m. As latest information comes in. Yes, Anshul.
Yes, at this point in time, it is not clear that if at all anyone was present inside the vehicle. In fact, the fire services have just confirmed this to us that there are no injuries that they have seen of at this point in time. But we'll have to wait for the Delhi police to also come on record with a similar statement. But Delhi Fire Services have just confirmed to CNN News 18 that no injuries have been reported till now, which is sort of a relief at this point in time. Prana Pesai, it is seeming like that a blast has happened inside the vehicle, and this could be a battery blast that could have happened, due to which the vehicle caught fire as well. But yes, the fire services have now confirmed this to CNN News 18 that no injuries have been reported till now.
No injuries have been reported. No injuries have been reported. That's what we are given to understand. The Red Fort blast or explosion that's caused this blast. We will try and get you the details. Kulbir Krishanji and Lieutenant General D.P. Pandey with us. Anshul, stay with us on the phone, and the moment you have an update, just flag it off with us for our viewers. We'll stay with this till we get confirmation of the seriousness, the level of what's happened. A terror module has been busted, not a terror module, multiple modules, and nearly 3,000 kilograms of material that could be used to create explosive devices or IEDs, improvised explosive devices. When multiple arrests have happened, there is an incident that happens near the Red Fort station. Kulbir Krishanji.
Yeah, whether it is terror related or not is not clear. There are any number of reasons why a battery could explode in a car. We should remain calm and let the police investigate and give their findings, that whether it is terror related or whether it's just an accident. Because every second day we are getting reports of cars catching fire due to various, faulty wiring or things like that. We must remain calm. We must look into the incident in detail, and then only then only arrive at a conclusion. My advice is that we should wait and see what are the actual facts before we take any.
Latest
talk about
visuals,
it on-
close proximity visuals to the left of the screen, viewers, shows the extent of the fire. It's been quite intense. The fire is spread out a bit. Thankfully, so far, the fire services have confirmed to Anshul that there have been no injuries. So, was this a parked car, unoccupied? Were people able to move to safety? Because the car seems to be blown to smithereens. Right now, we don't see any part of the car still available, although the blaze is quite intense. The plumes of black smoke coming out. Are these indicators of anything, General Pandey?
Yeah, I think I'll go with the co-panelists here, because
Kulveer Krishanji,
right
ji.
now to presume the worst may not be appropriate. However, the most important part is there are no casualties all being confirmed. And as you say, the black plumes can be also because of the fuel and the battery which would have burned. That is a possibility, because these cars today are highly combustible, and being the kind of components which are used to construct these cars will result into a black plume per se. So it may not be the reason of an explosion being explosive itself. So we'll have to wait and actually come to some sort of a conclusion what is the reason behind it.
Yes, the pictures, do they give us any clues? Anshul, are you there? Anshul, do we have any update? Anvit is with us. Anvit, yes, what's the latest, Anvit? What's happened at the Red Fort station?
So it was around 6:55 p.m. that a blast sound was heard in a car, and what we are being told is that the senior officials are on the spot because the car also caught fire. And the explosion was such that nearby vehicles have also been impacted. The people who were standing in the vicinity are also reported to be injured. However, Delhi Fire Services teams that are on the spot right now and trying to douse the fire and contain the situation, they are saying that no grievous injury has been reported so far. However, there are some news reports of people being dead, but so far Delhi Fire Services has confirmed that there is no death reported or confirmed so far. But anyone who has been reporting injury will be rushed to a hospital. But right now the priority of Delhi Fire Services is to contain the fire that is in one vehicle. People are also reporting that there was a blast sound. Now it needs to be confirmed. Police are on the spot, and they are confirming if it was an explosion or whether it was just a vehicle that exploded for some reason. So that all is being looked into. It is also being confirmed what kind of vehicle it was, whether it was a commercial vehicle or a private one, or it was individual owned, or whether it was a taxi or a cab. So these details are being looked into. Delhi police is on spot, so are the Delhi Fire Service.
Anvit, there are reports of one person being dead and some people getting injuries, multiple injuries, because the pictures show the intensity is quite huge, because there are bikes which are blown, there are other cars which are severely damaged, along with the fact that the car that exploded, or which was the reason for this blast sound, does not seem to be there in one piece at all. There are no remains. It's all blown to smithereens. So at that time, and given that, they are saying that one person is feared dead. These are unconfirmed reports yet. Anvit, what are the authorities saying?
The authorities have not yet confirmed the death, but they are saying that grievous injury to some people have been reported. However, because it's also a busy area in front of the Red Fort, it's a crowded area, so crowd management is also a task. So what the police are doing right now is that senior officials have reached the spot. They're trying to vacate the area as well, and those who are injured are being rushed to hospital. We called up a senior official, and he said that he is also at the spot, and they're trying to confirm if injuries to people are because of the blast or because there was a kind of a minor stampede-like situation when this blast took place, the explosion took place, and because of the fire. So there could be injuries because of there were a lot of people also. So people were pushing each other to get out of that place. So that also could be a reason. However, the vehicle that has caught fire, that is huge. The fire, we are being told, is massive in nature, and that is why the first priority of Delhi Fire Services is to contain the fire in the vehicle.
Right.
And the police, however, at the same time are trying to control the mob and trying to find out who were the injured, and they are being taken to safe place.
Right. Okay, viewers, we are trying to put out the pictures, and we'll be very careful because some pictures may be a little disturbing. There are reports that people have had grievous injuries and there could be one person dead. Anything which is going to be disturbing for the viewer, we will try and ensure that we try and gloss over it. But viewers at home, please use your own discretion as to who's watching these pictures. Now, if you can go full frame to the picture on the extreme right, that shows a car and a bike and also a lot of parts, vehicle parts. Now this is the part. Now you see that there's a white color car which is showing a lot of damage, but it's not on fire. And around that, it's a circular area. It's like a ring in which this entire fire is blazing, and it's really blazing. People are all around. Now this is that. It looks like a motorcycle that's been blown to bits. There are other pictures also there. Other vehicles also which have been blown to bits. There's a car, and then there are fire service fire tenders. 7 fire tenders been pressed into service that are trying to clearly douse the fire. But the intensity seems to be close to this vehicle, whose doors and all, the windows are smashed, the doors have come to pieces. There is an auto rickshaw which is damaged. You see the auto rickshaw. It looks like a parking lot area where this has happened, viewers. This is the first set of visuals. The second set of visuals shows the set of the intense blaze and the amount of fire, and also a lot of people at the center. The visual to the left of your screens, viewers, that's where we see the blaze. It's raging. Look at the fire tenders pressed into service. The pictures, it's really raging. The blaze is raging, really hot, and it's a larger ring. It's quite a large ring. Now there you go. These are more pictures that we are bringing you, viewers. And look at it. There is a huge crowd. People are making videos. Look at the amount of damage. If you can go to the top left visual and just go full frame on that, where people are trying to use their mobile phones to record, and you would see at the top left, there you go. That's the intensity of the blaze. There are a few vehicles which are all damaged, and right at the center is the entire epicenter of the fire. Huge fire, and we can't make out what vehicle is there at the center. And we could see that same white car which was damaged earlier in the previous set of visuals, that is there at the far ground, at the background actually. And in the near ground, there are people trying to jump over a wall, but we see vehicles which have borne the brunt of the impact of the blast. And there are windows and panels which are damaged, but right at the center is this entire ring of fire. That's where we saw an auto rickshaw damaged, a motorcycle damaged. So there has been considerable extent of damage to vehicles, and it looks like it's a parking lot. But people, when they tried to run away from there, did that cause a minor stampede? Did somebody get hurt there? And because of that, have we lost one person? Or is it because of the impact of the blast that was caused because of the explosion? We'll have to wait and watch. What triggered this explosion? We need confirmation. As of now, the authorities are not calling it a nefarious act. Was it because a battery went off, or because of that, the fuel in the car also burst? Because you see, it's fuel burning. The black plumes of smoke showcase the smokes are indicative. If it is white, grey, black, that's the nature of the incendiary device. That's what changes. What's causing the fire? That could also change. General Pandey with us, Kulbir Krishanji is with us. General Pandey, now we've got more pictures. What is your assessment? This clearly looks more than an accident.
Correct.
Or does it?
Again, the black plume is an indicator, where you said very correctly, in case there was an explosion, because of certain amount of explosive and all the color system would have been different. But what is amazing is that it is about 25 minutes since the time the blast has taken place and the fire is still raging. That means the amount of fuel or the content which is fueling this fire was quite significant. Is it because of the environment where it was located, and in case the entire vehicle has just been blown off and there's nothing much left of it? That means not just a simple blast of a battery or maybe a gas cylinder which was kept inside, but there's something much more which has triggered this thing. It may still be an accident, but the vehicle may be carrying some inflammable material which has resulted in this kind of a blast which has taken off the vehicle and damaged other vehicles around it.
Viewers, on this broadcast, we were discussing terror modules, and we have two security analysts who've seen a lot, who worked on intelligence, and who've also seen, blasts, explosions, and also the result of it. Kulbir Krishanji, Manoj Kumar Gupta, our security affairs editor, group editor, saying that there is no crater at the spot. There's a lot of fire, there is plumes of smoke, but an explosive device would have also caused a crater. There's no crater visible. MHA officials are saying that as of now, to say anything, it's premature. They're going to look at immediately central agencies are getting involved. Delhi Police Commissioner has spoken with senior MHA officials, so the Home Ministry is getting involved. This is Delhi, obviously national capital, Red Fort, and again, something like this will get the attention and of course immediate response of all the central agencies. But what's your assessment, Kulbirji, as you see these pictures?
See, what happens is when there's an explosion, no matter what be the cause of the explosion, it has a secondary effect in the sense there are cars parked next door to it, there are bikes parked next to it, they also explode. So the fuel in them also catches fire. So what happens is that it's not just one single blast. The blast causes secondary explosions, and it causes panic. People run around, near stampede like situation arises. So the first thing which the police try to do is to secure the area, form a perimeter so that they can clear that area and then start looking for clues as to what happened and what was the cause of the fire or what was the cause of the explosion. So, and it's dark, it's difficult, but the police have to do it and they will do it, I'm sure. So these things, you set up an outer perimeter, an inner perimeter, and the forensics and the police search systematically in a grid type of way to reach to the
Now we're getting more pictures. Kulbirji, we're getting more pictures. Arunima is with us. Oh, you can see the extent of damage. It's quite intense. Look at the picture that's come in just now. It's a WhatsApp video left of your screen. We'll try and go full screen. There you go. Fire officials are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One can count at least 7. There you go. 8. 9, 10, minimum 10 to 12 vehicles that have suffered intense amount of damage. This is a lot of damage that the cars around this place, this vehicle that's actually been the epicenter of the blast, the vehicles all around have suffered intense damage. And there is no crater. There is no crater, and this is the vehicle right behind the person in the check shirt that's been doused totally now. But it's smashed, it's gone. There's nothing that you can see of the vehicle that was the core of the blast. But look at the damage that's been caused to the vehicles all around. Now, is this a natural kind of damage that would happen if a car, a battery-operated car with fuel in it, perhaps a full tank, would explode? General Pandey. Arunima is with us with some details. I'll come back to you, General Pandey and Kulbir Krishanji. Yes, Arunima.
So, prima facie, what has been reported to Ministry of Home Affairs, Delhi Police falls under Ministry of Home Affairs, is that prima facie, it looks like that a vehicle which was fitted with a CNG cylinder, that was at the epicenter of this blast. So prima facie, police is looking at whether the CNG cylinder in this vehicle exploded, the vehicle caught fire, and subsequently other vehicles in the vicinity, either parked or in the vicinity, caught fire as well. Why is police looking at this angle particularly and not immediately jumping to the three-letter word IED? Is because at that spot, prima facie, again I must emphasize on that word, prima facie, they have now not spotted any kind of splinters or any big crater or even the glass around that area, because we are told this is near the metro station. So even the glass around that area, when even a Sukli bomb explodes, when even a homemade bomb explodes, usually the impact is borne by the glass windows around that area. We saw that in Rohini and near the CRPF school also. But because that kind of prima facie probe has not given immediately such evidence, so police is A, not ruling out anything at this stage, too early. B, they're saying that we are looking into the CNG vehicle angle because that's the vehicle which bore the brunt of it. It appears it was a CNG fitted vehicle. But we'll have to wait for a little more time.
Right. Arunima, just wait on. We got Mr. Avinash Kumar Malik from the fire department. Avinash ji, namaste. What can you tell us about what happened at Red Fort, sir?
नमस्कार सर, हमारे पास जो सूचना आई थी वो 6:55 पे आई थी शाम को कि चांदनी चौक के मेट्रो स्टेशन के बाहर कुछ एक्सप्लोजन हुआ है और कुछ कारों में आग है। उसके ऊपर हमने गाड़ियां रिस्पॉन्ड करी थी। टोटल 7 यूनिट्स हमारी टर्नआउट हुई थी जी, और उसका स्टॉप मैसेज आ गया है हमारे पास 7:29 पे जी। तो आप कह रहे हैं 6 गाड़ियां हैं, 2 ई रिक्शा हैं और एक ऑटो है जो इन्वॉल्व थे। लेकिन अभी कैजुअलिटी क्या है वो हम अभी पता लगा रहे हैं, वहाँ पर कोई कैजुअलिटी भी है या नहीं, ये हम अभी ढूंढ रहे हैं।
जी, आप कह रहे हैं कि 7:29 पे आपने फायर को काबू में कर लिया है।
बुझ गई थी सर पूरी तरह 7:29 पे।
7:29 फायर इज आउट। पर प्राइमा फेसाई क्या लग रहा है वजह?
देखिए वजह तो सर पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेट करेगी, ये पुलिस का डोमेन है, हमारा नहीं है।
हाँ, पर आपके हिसाब से
हम इसमें कुछ कमेंट नहीं कर पाएंगे सर। हम आपको ये बता सकते हैं आग कब लगी थी, हमारी गाड़ियां कब गई थी और कब आग बुझी।
और क्या आग जो थी किसी एक गाड़ी की वजह से लगी थी, जो कोर जो सेंटर पे था गाड़ी के आग
ये
के?
सर बता पाना बहुत मुश्किल है।
हाँ।
वीडियो आपका है, आप वीडियो ग्रुप पे डाल देंगे, आप वहां से ले लीजिएगा, देख लीजिएगा। उसमें कुछ गाड़ियां जली हुई हैं, कुछ शैटर्ड हैं।
शैटर्ड है, पर क्या वहां पर कोई क्रेटर दिखा सर, जो आपके ऑफिशियल्स को, जहां पर?
ये अभी मेरी नॉलेज में नहीं है
जी, नहीं लगा। लेकिन आप कह रहे हैं 6:55 को आपको इतला मिली थी और 7:29 को आग काबू में कर ली गई है। जी, और कुछ वहां पर कैजुअलिटीज, कुछ इंजरीज,
वो अभी हम
आपने
फाइंड
कुछ
आउट
देखा?
करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, लोगों से पता कर रहे हैं, आसपास पुलिस भी पता कर रही है, हम भी पता कर रहे हैं कि कोई कैजुअलिटीज में कहाँ थी। तो
पर आपकी टीम को कोई चोटिल दिखे वहां पर, या जो
नहीं? अभी तक हमें कोई कैजुअलिटी वहां एनकाउंटर नहीं हुआ है सीन पे।
जी, आपको नहीं एनकाउंटर हुआ। ठीक है जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। आई थिंक आपकी टीम हैज बीन वेरी क्विक टू रिस्पॉन्ड। अविनाश जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। सो अविनाश जी, फ्रॉम द फायर डिपार्टमेंट टेलिंग अस दे रिसीव्ड अ कॉल एट 6:55 and at 7:29 the fire has been doused. So viewers, what you are seeing on your screens are visuals between 6:55 and 7:29 p.m. 7:29 p.m. the official confirmation is that the fire has been doused and the area is under control. But there is also more numbers. 6 cars, 2 e-rickshaws and 2 autos have been damaged. The damage has been caused to 6 cars, 2 e-rickshaws and 2 autos. And the fire has now been doused. The fire officials not willing to tell us the reason for the fire, the impact or the core vehicle and what their assessment is, because they've left that to the police and the forensic team. But the fire department saying they will release more visuals and more videos very soon that could give us a picture. Fresh visuals coming in at the top left of the screen where there are ambulances, fire, the agencies. Let's go full frame to that if we can. The area being cordoned off with barricades, and there is no fire right now. That's what. So confirmation that there is no fire. Anshul now joining us live. Yes, Anshul.
So yes, it has been confirmed that the fire has been doused at 7:29. The cooling down operations are still underway. The manner in which this entire blast has happened, it is definitely prima facie. It is seeming like that either it happened from a battery of a vehicle or could be from a CNG of a vehicle. It is not seeming like an IED blast at this point. However, top officers of the Delhi police are on ground zero. They have already reached over there. Forensic teams are on their way at this point in time to reach Red Fort. And once they reach over there, then we could get a clearer picture as to what was the exact reason for this blast. But what fire department has told us that there are no casualties that have been seen by them. However, there are chances that there could be at least 3 to 4 injuries that could have been reported in this entire incident, and that is something that is being confirmed by Delhi police, because according to the locals on the ground, what we are being told is that as soon as the blast happened, the blast-like sound came out, there were a few people.
Anshul, I'm just interrupting you. Are you saying that the police is saying there is no casualty, there is no death?
And definitely no reports of deaths have come in at this point in time. But yes, there could be some injuries.
So some injuries, but no death. So earlier there was some assumption that one person is feared dead. So that the cops are saying that no, that's not the case.
So yes, at this point they have told us that there are no deaths, but however there are few injuries whom people have been taken to hospital. These people were taken to hospital by the local people who were present over there. Even before the police and fire department could reach over there, all these people were removed. Whoever had gotten injured, they were removed from there by the locals who were present on the spot, and they themselves took them to the nearest hospital where they are admitted and under treatment. So in the next few minutes, we are awaiting for an official statement to come in from the Delhi police, which would clear the entire picture as to what has transpired and what could be the reason for this very tragic incident.
Anshul, just we'll keep your mic on and we will jump into you and come back to you the moment we have the statement. Lot of sirens going, but stand by viewers here on CNN News 18 for the first official statement from the Delhi police. From the police commissioner himself, we'll get a statement very soon. The incident call report came in at 18:55 hours to the fire department. 7 fire tenders were rushed to the Red Fort metro station where a blast was reported. At 7:29 p.m. IST, the fire was doused. There are no craters visible there. It looks like it had happened with a battery-operated car that exploded, caused the blast, caused damage to 6 cars, 2 e-rickshaws and 2 autos around. And this fire that was seen earlier raging has been brought under control. There are a few people who are injured, but the authorities are saying no deaths. As of now, the authorities are saying there are no deaths. But we would wait for the full statement from the Delhi police itself. Within 30 minutes of the incident occurring, the fire was brought under control and doused. That's what the fire department has confirmed. It's the first official confirmation from the Delhi Deputy Chief of Fire Services, saying at 7:29 p.m. the fire was doused. So this is from earlier. This is the core. This is the center. We see vehicles all around, viewers. And as we see vehicles all around, those vehicles suffered the impact of this battery-operated car. That we've got confirmation, and that exploded. And that's what caused damage in and around.
पहुंचकर आपको दिखा रहा है वो तस्वीर है। ये देखिए बिल्कुल नीचे आपको कांच बिखरा हुआ नजर आएगा। हाई इंटेंसिटी का ब्लास्ट इसे कहेंगे। और सामने की तरफ जो आग लगी थी वो सामने की तरफ आपको दिखाई दे रही है। राकेश नेगी वो सामने की तरफ जूम करके दिखाएं। देखिए ये पूरा सीक्वेंस था और गाड़ी जो है वहां पर एक वैन मारुति ओमनी वैन दिखाई दे रही है ठीक उसके पीछे जिसमें आग लगी है। ये वैगनर गाड़ी भी इसमें चपेट में आई है। वैगनर गाड़ी जिसके ठीक आगे की साइड का जो शीशा है वो पूरा ध्वस्त हुआ है। और सामने आपको दिल्ली पुलिस दिखाई देगी, फायर की टीमें दिखाई देगी। स्कूटी चपेट में आई है। उसके अलावा जो वैन है वो चपेट में आई है। एक ऑटो दिख रहा है उसके ऊपर, ठीक ऑटो चपेट में आया हुआ है। यानी काफ़ी जो हाई इंटेंसिटी का ब्लास्ट था और इस ब्लास्ट की उम्मीद किसी को नहीं थी, क्योंकि ये मेट्रो गेट नंबर 1 और 4 ठीक इस तरफ 4 है, उस तरफ 1 है। देखिए ये मेट्रो लाल किला गेट नंबर 4 है जिसके ठीक सामने की तरफ ये पूरा घटनाक्रम हुआ है। इस वक्त न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया की टीम मौके पर स्पॉट पर हम हैं और आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर जो सामने की तरफ आपको पुलिसकर्मी दिखा रहे हैं, क्योंकि पूरा एरिया कॉर्डन ऑफ कर लिया गया है, क्योंकि जिस तरह की इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो यहाँ पर चलेगी। लेकिन फायर की टीम है वहाँ पर अब गाड़ी में आग बुझाई जा चुकी है। लेकिन जो गाड़ियाँ राइट साइड में दिखाई राकेश ने कि हाँ ये देखिए ये वो कारें हैं जो सड़क पर चल रही थी, वो धमाके की चपेट में आई है। क्योंकि एक गाड़ी की जो बैकलाइट है वो
Well, that was Deepak Bisht. Deepak Bisht, also of News 18 India, along with Anshul, present on ground and gotten close into the incident area. We'll try and go to Anshul. Okay, Deepak is reporting again, and then we'll get Anshul also.
दिखाऊंगा आपको। ये देखिए ये राइट साइड में गाड़ियां चल रही हैं सड़क पर, लाल किले के ठीक सामने ये गाड़ियां चल रही हैं जिसकी जो बैकलाइट है वो भी जल रही है। इससे इसका मतलब साफ है गाड़ियां यहां से चल रही थी। इसके अंदर भी जो धमाका हुआ है, धमाके से मुझे लगता है काफी लोग इसकी चपेट में आए हैं, क्योंकि धमाके के बाद ही यहाँ पर ये सब चलती हुई गाड़ियां अचानक रुकी हैं। इनमें भी आग लगी है और ये चलती हुई गाड़ियां 20 सड़क पर लाल किले के ठीक सामने ये गाड़ियां चल रही हैं और उनमें धमाका हुआ। धमाके का असर भी उसमें हुआ, लेकिन जो धमाका हुआ था वो काफी खतरनाक था। देखिए ऊपर एक पोस्टर मैं दिखाऊंगा, पोस्टर भी बिल्कुल धमाके के बाद किस तरह से उसका निशान यहाँ पर दिख रहा है। तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जो धमाका था हाई इंटेंसिटी का ब्लास्ट यहाँ पर हुआ था। उसके बाद जो गाड़ियाँ थी, एक गाड़ी यहाँ पर दिखाई देगी बस आपको, ये बस रोक दी गई थी। क्योंकि इसलिए रोकी गई क्योंकि यहाँ पर अचानक धमाका हुआ, उसकी चपेट में बस ना आए, इसलिए बस को तुरंत ही खाली करवाया गया और सब लोग यहाँ से हटाए गए। आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर बिल्कुल पूरा रूट, ये वैगनार जो यहाँ पर खड़ी है, ये वैगनार ऐसा लग रहा है प्राइवेट नंबर की गाड़ी है। और सामने देखिए कुछ चीजें यहाँ पर सामने दिखाई दे रही हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पर हो सकता है कि कोई यहाँ पर घायल पड़ा हो, उसको ले आया गया हो। लेकिन यहाँ पर कई गाड़ियां यहाँ पर चपेट में आई हैं और ये साफ तौर पर यहाँ पर दिख रहा है कि यहाँ पर जो धमाका हुआ था वो काफी हाई इंटेंसिटी का धमाका था। लो इंटेंसिटी का धमाका कभी भी इस तरह से इतनी गाड़ियों को चपेट में नहीं ले सकता। और इसीलिए यहाँ पर न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया की टीम पहुंची है ये सब दिखाने के लिए, क्योंकि हम देख पा रहे हैं हमारे सामने कई गाड़ियां इसकी चपेट में है। आप देखेंगे सामने कुछ गाड़ियां जो है पूरी तरह से ध्वस्त हो गई हैं, जो राइट साइड में, क्योंकि रेड बनाई गई है। और उसके बाद जो उस तरफ पुलिस ने जो घेराबंदी की है, उसके अलावा ये जो गाड़ियां इस वक्त चपेट में आई है, इसका मतलब साफ है कि एक बड़ा धमाका था, एक ऐसा धमाका जिसे यहाँ पर देखा गया, लोगों ने महसूस किया, क्योंकि आसपास के लोगों ने बहुत तेज आवाज सुनी थी। और बिल्कुल
Well, that was Deepak Bisht. He's reporting on News 18 India and also CNN News 18, getting you the pictures, and we'll try and bring in Anshul also. He's also live at the spot and try and get you more details. Now, you see the damage, viewers. As we see these pictures that are coming in, you notice the damage. That impact has happened to also vehicles moving on the road because of that blast on the car, the battery-operated car, and the intensity is quite severe. The car blowing to smithereens, parts going here and there. But if you were to see, the vehicles which were on the road, which were in the immediate radius, have been impacted, but there haven't been too many shattering of glasses. Now, these are all certain indicators of whether it is battery, whether it is the fuel of the car, it's an accident which has happened, or if it is an engineered IED. The other part that we are getting, and this is confirmation, there is no crater in the area where this has happened. That means that there is no clearly, that's one of the telltale signs of an IED or an improvised explosive device. So that's not there. But it's a high intensity blast in a high density area with a lot of vehicles around, and that's why about 10 to 12 cars and vehicles, let's not say cars, but vehicles have suffered damage. We can see there is a proper cordon that's been put out immediately. Within 30 minutes of the incident happening, the fire's been doused, the Delhi police teams, the agencies, they are all around. Let's try and get the latest pictures if we can also. These are pictures from earlier. These are pictures from earlier when the blast has happened, when the incident has happened, and in that area, the cops have already responded. The fire tenders responding within 10 minutes of the incident being called, and within 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the incident, of them reaching the site, they've doused the fire. Now, they've not only doused the fire, they're also saying that they did not see anybody very severely injured. Now, this is the one. Now, let's try and look at these pictures. What's happening? People are standing and they're trying to make videos. After first they run to safety, then they come back to make videos to see what all is happening here, who are all involved. At this point, there doesn't seem to be too many people who are stuck inside, that there are others who are rescuing. Look at this car. Look at this car. The cops are there. There's a smashed car, and they're trying to see if there is somebody stuck inside that car, and they're trying to rescue that person. So people also moving in, pitching in to help and move people. Eyewitnesses and also the authorities have confirmed some people who may have serious injuries or may be injured, but nobody who's very, very critically injured, and no deaths so far. That's what. Let's hope it stays that way, that everybody recovers and there are no casualties. And look at the third set of visuals. Look at these visuals. Now you can see portions of the car that are smashed. Look at the intensity of the fire. It's a blazing fire, and this seems to be the center. This is where the fire is the centered, and then there are other pieces which have moved to the other side. Now let's listen in. We got an eyewitness speaking.
कैसे हुआ था? तगड़ा धमाके की आवाज आई थी, बस के गोटी पड़ी है, सब देख लो। तकरीबन कितने लोग उस समय कुछ अंदाजा नहीं है।
The eyewitness will try and some of these pictures could be a little disturbing, viewers. So please exercise discretion. We're just getting you inputs and information as it's coming in, as it's streaming in. Another eyewitness speaking. Let's listen in.
मेरा नाम राजधर पांडे।
क्या हुआ सर, आप क्या बता पाएंगे? कुछ
नहीं जी, हम कुछ नहीं, हम ये देखे, लपट देखा। हाँ। अपने छत से देखा, तभी मैं नीचे उतर के आया कि जरा देखूं कहाँ है क्या, और तो पता नहीं
किसी तरह की कोई आवाज आपने सुनी?
हाँ, बहुत जोर आवाज आई, बिल्डिंग खिड़की हिल गई, खिड़की हिल गई।
आपका घर कितना दूर है?
ये रहा गुरुद्वारे के पास। मेरा नाम राजधर पांडे।
क्या हुआ सर, आप क्या बता पाएंगे? कुछ
नहीं जी, हम कुछ नहीं, हम ये देखे, लपट देखा। हाँ। अपने छत से देखा।
That's playing on a loop now. Rajdhar Pandey, an old gentleman, says he lives close to the Gurdwara, which is about a few 100 meters away, and behind that, and he said that he felt his glasses rattle. Deepak Bisht getting us a live ground report.
है वो यहाँ पर पहुंचा हुआ है, और इन्वेस्टिगेशन इसलिए जारी है क्योंकि उठे गए हैं वहां तक का एरिया कॉर्डन ऑफ किया जाएगा, क्योंकि इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीमें यहाँ पर पहुंची है, डॉग स्क्वाड यहाँ पर पहुंचा है, फॉरेंसिक की टीमें यहाँ पर पहुंची है। सब जांचा जाएगा कि किस तरह का ये धमाका है। क्या यहाँ पर ये जो एक टेरर एंगल की बात हम कर रहे थे, सुबह से लगातार फरीदाबाद में पुलिस ने कई सारी एजेंसियों ने मिलकर वहां पर रेड करी थी, वो एक टेरर एंगल से वहां पर विस्फोटक बरामद किया गया था, लेकिन क्या उसकी खींच यहाँ पर उतारी गई है? ऐसा भी सबसे पॉसिबल हो सकता है। लेकिन जिस तरह से ब्लास्ट आप देखेंगे, कई गाड़ियां यहाँ पर चपेट में, एक नहीं बल्कि कई गाड़ियों में आग लगी। उसके बाद फायर की टीमें यहाँ पर पहुंची, 5 से 7 गाड़ियाँ यहाँ पर पहुंची। दिल्ली पुलिस को यहाँ पर इन्फॉर्म किया गया, दिल्ली पुलिस के अधिकारी यहाँ पर पहुंचे, सारा जो महकमा है वो यहाँ पर पहुंचा हुआ है। और इन्वेस्टिगेशन इसलिए जारी है क्योंकि जिस तरह का धमाका हम इससे पहले मैंने 2005 के भी ब्लास्ट देखा था, 2008 में देखा था करोल बाग, और उसके बाद सिलसिलेवार बम धमाके हमने देखे थे, 2011 हमने देखा था, 10 देखा था। तो इस तरह के ब्लास्ट हमने अनुमान नहीं लिए, तो काफी लंबे समय बाद इस तरह का ब्लास्ट है। तो एक कहा जा सकता है जिस तरह से आज ये ब्लास्ट हुआ है, क्या ये एक टेरर एंगल है, इसको लेकर यहाँ पर पुलिस कुछ देर बाद वेरीफाई करेगी, कुछ देर बाद इसकी पुष्टि कर दी जाएगी। लेकिन जिस तरह का ये धमाका है ये आम धमाका नहीं कहा जा सकता, और इसलिए भी नहीं कहा जा सकता क्योंकि इसमें अब तक 9 लोगों की मौत की पुष्टि हो चुकी है, यानी एक बड़ा धमाका जिसमें अब तक अस्पताल में 9 लोगों के शव पहुंच चुके हैं। और ये एक
Viewers, this is disturbing news and this is unfortunate. Now we got confirmation from the hospital. The hospital PRO has confirmed 9 people confirmed dead, and one of the eyewitnesses, who's a shopkeeper, says that he fell down thrice during the explosion. He's never heard something as loud as this ever. This is the eyewitness's account, and the hospital, the LNJP hospital PRO, confirming 9 people dead. Now, that means this is far greater than an accident right now, and it is far greater. The dimensions now suddenly change. Delhi Police PRO now with us on the phone line. Sanjay Tyagi ji, namaste. LNJP हॉस्पिटल कह रहा है 9 लोग मरे हैं इस धमाके में।
देखिए, अभी जैसे ही धमाके की सूचना मिली थी, पुलिस की तमाम टीम्स और सीनियर ऑफिसर्स मौके पर पहुंचे। मौके पर जांच की जा रही है, सारी स्पेशलाइज्ड एजेंसीज भी मौके पे हैं। धमाके के कारणों की भी जांच की जा रही है और कितनी क्षति पहुंची है इसकी भी जांच की जा रही है। कुछ समय में हम वी शुड बी एबल टू शेयर द डिटेल्स विद यू। कुछ समय में आपके साथ सारी जानकारी साझा की जाएगी। अभी पुलिस के तमाम सीनियर ऑफिसर्स और टीम की असरटेन करने में लगे हुए हैं कि धमाके का कारण क्या होगा और उससे कितनी क्षति पहुंची है।
संजय जी, LNJP PRO has said 9 people are dead.
No, I am not denying from that, but I am not confirming also because I have not got any information from LNJP. हमारी टीम अस्पतालों से भी, LNJP के अलावा भी कोई अस्पताल हो सकता है, तमाम से सूचनाएं इकट्ठी की जा रही हैं और मौके की भी जांच की जा रही है। कुछ समय में मैं आपसे विस्तृत जानकारी साझा करूंगा।
What is your assessment of the blast? Is it a high intensity blast? Will you call it a high intensity blast?
अभी हम ये लोग इस बारे में कहने की स्थिति में नहीं है। अभी कुछ समय और लगेगा जांच में, तभी हम कह पाएंगे कि ब्लास्ट का कारण क्या रहा होगा और क्या इंटेंसिटी रही होगी।
ये गाड़ी में ब्लास्ट हुआ, इतना आप बता सकते हैं? Was it a car?
Yes, it was a car. It was a car. It was a blast in a car. वो कारण, उसका कार का इंटरनल कोई फेलियर है, CNG है या कोई एक्सटर्नल कारण है, इस विषय में कुछ समय बाद ही जानकारी दी जा सकेगी।
What is the damage that's been seen? आसपास की कितनी गाड़ियां और क्या उसमें लोग?
मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, उस गाड़ी को तो क्षति पहुंची ही है काफी
जी।
आसपास की गाड़ियों को भी क्षति पहुंची है। उन सभी फैक्ट्स को हम लोग वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं। जस्ट गिव अस सम टाइम, we will share you with full details.
Are there injuries also? Are people injured also?
That is what I am saying. People are injured. Vehicles have been damaged. So the quantum of damage and the cause of blast explosion are being verified by senior officers and various specialized police teams. In some time, we should be able to share the details with you.
Some eyewitnesses have said that they have never heard something so loud ever in their lives. In fact, they fell down twice or thrice when this happened.
That is all being verified. That is all being verified.
All right, Sanjay Tyagi ji, thank you. Thank you for speaking with us. So Sanjay Tyagi there, the Delhi Police PRO saying that yes, people are dead. How many he can't confirm. Yes, people are injured. How many he can't confirm, but they will be releasing a statement soon. We got another eyewitness speaking.
सर, आपका?
मेरा नाम है वलीउर रहमान।
जिस वक्त ये आवाज आई, क्या हुआ?
जिस टाइम आवाज आई, धमाका हुआ, तो मैं दुकान पे बैठा था। पीछे मेरी दुकान है, यहीं पे दुकान है, यहीं पे। तो मैं चेयर पे बैठा हुआ था। एकदम से अचानक इतनी तेज धमाका हुआ कि मेरे लाइफ में इतनी तेज मैंने अपनी आवाज के भी नहीं सुना। धमाके के दहल पे मैं 3 बार गिरा हूँ, उठाऊं फिर गिरा हूँ, उठा ऐसे धरती फटने वाला है। इतनी तेज धमाका हुई है, ठीक है। तो मैं दुकान छोड़ करके एकदम से भागा। मेरे साथ ही बहुत सारी पब्लिक भागी, एक पे एक पब्लिक गिर रही थी। उस टाइम ऐसा लग रहा था कि हम कुछ पल में, और दूसरा धमाका हुआ था, हम मरने वाले हैं। ऐसा लग रहा कि हम बचने का चांस, ऐसा लग रहा कि मौत को मुंह से देख रहे हैं, इस तरह से नजारा था। तो मैं भाग करके साइकिल मार्केट में गया, वहाँ जा करके मैं एक कोल्ड ड्रिंक लिया। 2 बंदे को ने मेरे पे अच्छे से काबू किया, मेरे को समझाया कि हो जाता है, फिर मेरे को रिलैक्स मिला। फिर मैं दोबारा यहाँ दुकान पे चाबी लेकर के, ये चाबी दुकान की, मैं चाबी दुकान बंद करके फिर आप घर जा रहा हूँ मैं।
So now we get the latest viewers. The eyewitness says he's never heard something like that. He was so shaken, he needed people to calm him down. Deepak Bisht getting us another ground report.
वहां पर ब्लास्ट हुआ है और उसके बाद जो गाड़ियां दूर दूर तक थी, तकरीबन 100 मीटर तक इसकी चपेट में लोग यहां पर आए हैं और धमाका इतना तेज था, तीव्रता वाला था, जिसके बाद ये अंदाजा लगाया जा सकता है कि इस तरह का धमाका अमूमन ऐसा धमाका सामान्य धमाका नहीं कहा जा सकता और ये कहीं ना कहीं इसके पीछे कोई ना कोई टेरर एंगल है। और जाहिर सी बात है कि इस तरह का धमाका उस वक्त किया गया जब भीड़ भरा यहाँ पर इलाका, जिस वक्त लाल किले की रेड लाइट जब चलती है तो उस वक्त जो गाड़ियां यहाँ पर चल रही थी वो भी चपेट में आई हैं। 2 से 3 गाड़ियां नहीं बल्कि कई सारी गाड़ियां यहां पर चपेट में आई है। और सबसे अहम चीज ये कि जो वैन यहां पर खड़ी थी, लेफ्ट साइड में वैन आपको दिखा रहा है, ये मारुति वैन ओमनी, उसके ठीक आगे एक ऑटो जो है वो बिल्कुल पलटा हुआ सा नजर आ रहा है, यानी ये भी यहां पर खड़े थे। इनमें तेज धमाका हुआ तो क्या आगे वाली गाड़ी में ये ब्लास्ट की कोशिश की गई थी उसमें रखकर या फिर पीछे किया गया था, क्योंकि जिस तरह से आग थी शुरुआती दौर में इसे कई लोगों ने कहा था कि तेज धमाके की आवाज उन लोगों ने सुनी है, लेकिन यहां पर जिस तरह से धमाका हुआ है वो लो इंटेंसिटी का ब्लास्ट कहीं नहीं जा सकता, कहीं कोई कह भी नहीं सकता, क्योंकि ये हाई इंटेंसिटी का ब्लास्ट है। इसके पीछे बड़ी साजिश यहां पर नजर आ रही है, क्योंकि हमने एक दिन आज ही सुबह हम लगातार फरीदाबाद से थे जी।
इस वक्त तो मैं लाल किला के ठीक सामने हूँ जहाँ पर जोरदार धमाका हुआ। धमाके के बाद यहाँ पर स्थानीय पुलिस की टीम पहुंची है, एम्बुलेंस यहाँ पे काफी पहुंची है और इसके साथ साथ फॉरेंसिक जांच करने के लिए यहाँ पे अलग अलग टीम आ रही है। खासतौर पर अगर दिल्ली पुलिस की स्पेशल सेल की बात करें